Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone. This is EuroScrum, Agile Venture. My name is Raul, and I'll be hosting an event today. For this. So before we start this, I'd like to first of all apologize to everyone for some of the miscommunication around the Scrum times and all that. Um, the scrums that are usually mostly active are the ones that happens during the week, but on weekends it's usually rare to have, we usually have like close to no scrum on weekends. I know that the website says at the moment that we want to host scrums on Saturdays and Sundays, but then there's usually not enough scrum masters to host them. So maybe in future you guys will be available to take some of those spots. But yeah, that is the main point. The other thing is because of this lack of Scrum, what I did is I updated the course notes to specify that the assignment might be extended for another week or so, so that most of the people can join a Scrum during the week and possibly vote on the story. Okay, so that is the first thing I wanted to clear out. So I see we have quite a few people here. I don't know if any of you have been to a Scrum before.
No.
This is their first time on a remote Scrum. Okay. So what usually hi Joachim. So what usually happens is so we usually go around and discuss what everyone has been up to in a specific project or something, and we kind of get a sense of what's happening for everyone, and then see if there's anything we need to coordinate and break up in order to fix, I don't know, quick problems or something like that. So I'll quickly tell you guys what I've been up to. As you may know, I've been busy this weekend working on maintaining the course, support on the Slack channel for the 8102 group, sending out invites for you guys to join the Pivotal Tracker board. And yeah, that was pretty much my activity in terms of Agile Ventures. So I haven't done in terms of project, I haven't been working on a project lately for Agile Ventures. So that's about the size of it from my side. So what I'll do now is, since you guys haven't been working on a project here, what I'll do is I'll just make a round, just so that you guys can introduce yourself and just briefly tell us where you're from. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll start with Virginia. Hey Virginia, how are you doing?
Hi, Virginia from Spain.
Okay, good to have you in Agile Venture Scrum. Tony?
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm in London. Obviously I haven't been working on any assignments this week, just going through the videos. I do have a question actually. How are we going to link to an issue we've voted on if we're not actually doing any work?
Don't worry about it. We'll get to that after the round. Okay, I'll explain to you how that works. Okay. Oh, before I continue, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Raul, and I'm based in South Africa. Okay. So yeah. Let's move on to Paul.
Hi, this is Paul. I'm based on New Zealand.
Cool. Nitish, you're muted at the moment.
Hello, I'm Nitish. I'm from India. Hello, everyone.
Good to have you around, Nitish. Michael?
Hi, Rahul. I'm also South African, based in Australia.
Oh, awesome. Good to see you. By the way, I'm from Cameroon, but I'm just based in South Africa. So, yeah. But good to have someone.
Good to meet you.
No. Joaquin?
Hi, my name is Joaquin, and I am from Spain, living in Belgium.
Oh, awesome. Good to have you in the course.
Thank you.
Guan Fang, that's correct.
Yes.
I hope I got
Hello.
it correctly.
Hello, everybody. I'm
Good.
from Denmark, but many years ago I come from China.
Oh, awesome. Good to have you around. And G?
I'm not sure you hear me. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
we can hear you properly.
Okay,
Right.
so I'm Jean. I'm from France, from the suburb of Paris.
Oh, awesome. Good to have a French speaker around.
Okay.
Awesome. Andrew?
I'm in Chicago, but I'm from Australia.
Awesome. Right, so that's about the round from everyone. So it's really good to have you guys around for this Scrum, and I hope you've been enjoying the course so far, and that well, things are going well. Hopefully you stick with us for the rest of the course, and hopefully you assist us in the CS169 course that's starting soon. All right. So the next agenda for today is to, of course, do the items for your assignment, which you've already done the first part, which is attending the Scrum. So I'll send you the link to the recording of the Scrum, and the second part. I'm just going to share my screen now to show you a few things. The second part that you guys needed to work on was the voting on a story, on a user story. So I don't know if you guys can see my screen at the moment.
Yeah, we can see it well.
It's a bit trippy though.
Yeah, that's because I'm. Let me find my browser. There we go. Okay, so for the purpose of this part, what I'll do is a couple of weeks ago, well, months ago, we started a project called Take Me Away, which was I happened to be leading that project for some time, but then we sort of like completed most of the features that were required from the client in terms of this project. So, but today I'm just going to use it as a sample project so that you guys can, get to see how it goes about voting on the stories and things like that. Okay. So before I start, I'm just going to quickly explain to you what was the purpose of this project. So we got approached by a client who wanted to build a system to sort of like manage a restaurant, daily activities, publishing menus and managing what stock he has in terms of menus that he's selling to clients. So we set to build a system using Rails, and the basic architecture of the system is we had a backend application, which I'm just going to show you quickly. So this was like the dashboard that the client could access, to manage things like menu creations and order management and things like that. And we used ActiveAdmin with Rails to generate this pretty backend system. And the second fold of the project was to expose all the information, such as menus and products, throughout an API, so that we could build later on front-end application that client would then access to place their orders and so forth. So as a practice, we also built secondary to that system. We built, if I can find it here, we built a front-end application using AngularJS to sort of like emulate, the ordering process from a client point of view. So these are the two applications that we built for that one. And if I go to menu, assuming, okay, there's no menu item, so I'm going to quickly create the menu right now. In here, and so it's called Sunday. Start date is today. And date is that, and we add an item. Oh, let's add this. Add another one. There we go. Okay, so this item is in. Okay, so let's just create one with. Oh, oops, we've got a problem here. Not something I want to have, but I wonder what happened there. But I'll have to check the log on. I'll just add this dummy item here. Move this. Oh. Might appear we have a problem with the system. I just recently pushed something from the. I just pushed some changes now, because that's what is causing the break. So let me just quickly revert back to. Yeah, these things happen. I pushed some changes from one of the developer a few moments ago, and I didn't get enough time to test them. So one thing to note is never push changes to a live system before meeting or something, or you get stuff like this happening. So I'm just gonna quickly revert back to previous. Let's go back here. So the application is currently running on Heroku, as you can see, and okay, so this was deployed 2 hours ago. Will succeeded. Okay, so that was okay. Roll back to this one. Okay, I'll roll back to that state there. Okay. Cool. So I hope this is working already. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we have that working now. Cancel dashboard. Seems to be back up now. Let's try and create another menu. Hopefully this time. And let's add a test item. And we create the menu. It's overlapping with the weekly menu. Let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and. So what we do is we warn the user every time he tries to create a menu where the menu item is adding is already part of an existing menu. So that's why we're getting all those warnings. I'm just gonna delete this one for now. And cancel. We edit this one, delete that, and update the menu. Now should be able to create a menu with that. It was chicken macani. Oh, okay. Looks like we're not gonna have a menu created today. I need to investigate on this thing later on and see why it's failing. I'll just activate this one and we'll use it for the purpose of this assignment. If it lets me. Alright, so let's change that to February. Okay. So this got updated. It should be visible now to the front end. Visual Ventures, take me away. So Heroku. So that is equal to TMA. What's the name? TMA develop. TMA develop. Okay, so what is the problem here? Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to do some more debugging after the session to figure out why it's breaking here. But essentially, you would, let's just assume this was working. You were supposed to get something like a listing of all the menus available in the current in the current scheduling. Okay, and then you then go on and add them to a cart and then place your order and go through the process of getting the thing ordered. Okay, so that was in a nutshell what we set to build for the client. Okay, now in the context of this, we use Pivotal Tracker, to sort of like manage the stories and the features that we need to implement on the product. Okay, and I'm actually gonna add a bug entry now. That application crashes and creating a menu. So I'm gonna mark this as a bug, and then we'll have to look at that later on. Save this, push this in the backlog for the next meeting with the rest of the team. And so we use this. As you can see, we have a set of lists here. The first one is the list of items that were done already by the team. And what Pivotal Tracker does is it sort of like tracks the history of all the activities we've been doing and sort of like figure out how many points we're able to achieve per week or so, per iteration, and then tries to automatically guess what's going to be the size for the next iteration and or release or something like that. Okay. So this list here is the list of features that are currently in progress, in development, from members of the team. And then we have the backlog, and then we have the icebox, which is like a big chunk of features that we need to go through with the client usually, and sort of like prioritize over them. And then with the team of developers, we then need to assign, sort of like estimate what is the difficulty of the project, which is what we're going to be doing in a few minutes. What is the difficulty of the story itself, and we get to make the estimation on that. And then once the story is estimated, we then push it to the backlog for the next iteration we need to work on. Yeah. Does that kind of make sense to you guys at this point? Are we all on the same page?
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No, it's clear.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. So the one thing we have right now at the top of this item is this feature that says we need to defer the decrement until after the order has successfully been saved. Okay. So what happens at the moment is that when the client goes through the application and places an order, before the order is actually saved in the database, we go ahead and decrement the value. The quantity of the stock available on that specific item. Which is kind of not a good thing to do, because then if during the process something happens and then the order fails for some reason, then we also at the moment don't catch that and sort of like roll back the decrement that we did when we placed the order previously. So this is what the story is all about. We want to make it so that the quantity, the stock of a unit is only decremented once the order has been successfully placed. Okay, does that sort of make sense to you guys?
Yep.
So this is what the story is all about, and the way we usually go about estimating the story is that we have a set of we have points that we assign to the story. Could be a 1 point, 2 point, or 3 points, based on the difficulty of the story. And Sam was explaining during the week to other students that one of the rule of thumbs we use for voting on the stories is that a 1 point story is usually a story where we have like minor changes to make to the system. Could be a changes to the view only, you know, something that doesn't involve database changes or migration or something like that. And the 2 point would usually involve changing perhaps the view and then controllers and models and making changes to the database and so forth. And a 3 point story is usually more complex one that involves bigger changes to the system. Okay, things where we probably need to involve a new set of configuration, new gems or something of that order. Right. So that is like roughly what we use as a rule of thumb for voting on stories within projects here. But then again, it's not a set stone rule for voting on stories. Every team, depending on how they work, can refine that over time and, you know, figure out what works best for them when estimating stories. Okay. So any question thus far? Are we all on the same page so far?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the way the voting process goes is, since we all distribute, in a normal situation, you would be in a team with, I mean, in the same room with your team and all that. But then in this case, since we all distributed across the globe, what we use to vote is you're all part of the AV102 Slack group. So what we'll try to do here is, if you can all see my screen, is what you're all gonna type in what you think you're gonna be voting on. I mean, what is the number you want to assign on this thing? But then you don't press enter. You don't submit your vote until I say you can submit it. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna type in a 1 or 2 or whatever, depending on either 1, 2, or 3, and then on the count of 3, what you will do is you will then go simultaneously and press enter to submit your vote in the Slack channel. Okay. Okay, so you go ahead and I'll just quickly stop my video so that you don't get to see what I'm voting on.
I can do it.
Don't submit your vote yet, guys. Just type in.
Okay.
Have you considered using something like Planning Poker for doing this?
Planning Poker, I'm not familiar with that entirely.
The idea is the same, but everyone goes onto a website and they type in their estimate, and the estimates are all collated, and you get the result at the end.
Oh, okay. You said it's what? Planning Poker.
Planning Poker.
Yeah, I'll definitely have a look at that, and maybe we'll have a look at using that in future for future sessions. Thanks for the suggestion.
Just checking, we're submitting our vote in the group chat in the Google Hangout. Is that right?
As long as you type and you don't submit, we'll all submit at the same time.
Yes.
Okay,
and
that's fine.
And I think we're doing it in Slack or we're doing it in chat, Rahul.
You can do it wherever you want. It doesn't matter. I'll check both sides. Okay.
Okay.
So, are we all set to submit our vote? Are we all set then?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a problem with that. I am not able to modify the field.
Modify the field where?
It's just I am seeing an estimated, and never mind.
So
when I click
you're gonna enter your vote in the Slack channel or in the Google Hangout group. I'll go ahead and change the estimated point on Pivotal Tracker once we agree on the number. Okay. Is that okay? Oh, somebody submitted already.
Yes.
Okay, so if everyone is ready, 1, 2, 3, let's submit the vote. Okay. This is interesting. Looks like we have groups of 1s and groups of 2s. Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna pick one person, the groups of 1, and then so what happens when we can't agree in a story like this, we need to then figure out what was the motivation behind everyone's vote, for instance. Okay, so I'll go ahead with let's say Andrew. Why did you pick a 1 for this one?
Well, I was a bit unsure whether it would be like a database transaction kind of thing, in which case it would be a more serious change. But if it is just a matter of changing the order of operations, that seems a more trivial change.
Okay, makes sense. Cool. Joaquin?
Yeah, I think the same is just to change the order. Just wait for the transition to be successful and update the thing.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and pick one of the persons at 2. Paul?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure about the requirement. I think I'm thinking about even way down the right, make sure that working then after placed order, we still need to figure out what happened to order being placed, but quantity didn't actually decrease. I'm thinking more about requirement. Maybe we still need to clarify what happened after the order being placed, but we didn't actually decrease the quantity. So that's what I'm thinking. Why probably we need more work after we done the code, right?
Okay. All right. Cool. So far we have 1, 2.
I think that we are even now. So yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 1s and 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. Okay. So what I think of the story is although I voted a 2, because depending, it could be something a tricky thing for people, because we need to implement things like test, all the feature needs to be covered by test and so forth. It's sometimes a tricky thing for people to handle. That's one of the factor that made me vote on a 2 point, and it's actually a minor 2, not like a big thing, because as the other mentioned, what all that needs to happen in this case is, and you can see in the suggestion that Patrick made here, is all we need to do in this case. One of the things we could do in this case is just have an after create hook on the order that links to a function, a method where we'll then go ahead and decrement the stock of the given item. So this is a relatively simple story to implement. So yeah, just create that method that will go ahead, and I think the method to decrement already exists. All that needs to happen is we just need to make sure that it happens after the creation of the order. So after the order has been successfully saved into the database, then we can go ahead and decrement the quantities. Okay,
If you wrapped it in a transaction, then it wouldn't matter which order they go in, because the transaction will succeed or fail completely.
Exactly. We'll only decrement as soon as the transaction has been successfully saved. So it wouldn't matter if something happens in between. Okay. So does that sort of like clarify more on this?
Yeah, sounds good.
So are we all good going with a 1?
Yes.
I'm happy with right now. Yep.
Anyone has an objection to that? No objections. Okay. So I assume you can all see my screen now, right? Is my screen back on now?
Yes.
Okay. So what then happens after the vote is we then go and assign the point, and then possibly assign someone to the story. But then in this case, what will happen usually is once we vote, this usually happens at the beginning of the sprint, where we'll all sit together and select a bunch of stories that we want to work on the next iteration, and then we just vote on them and we push them to the backlog. Whenever someone is available to work on the story, he can just come here and press the start button and start working on the story. And once he's done with that, he will submit a pull request to GitHub, to the repository, and then we as a team will then review the code and go through some discussions on that. And yeah, when the story is ready, we mark it as finished and wait for the next client meeting, okay, to sort of like present to the client. Yeah. So that's in a nutshell like the process of voting on user stories and so on. All right. So that sort of like sums up what we needed to do today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you guys the link to the recording of this event. I'll post it in the Slack channel. Recording. And this is the user story we voted on. I'll just grab a link here. What's that? Story we voted on. So yeah, that's about it. I don't know if there's any question around the room. Any preoccupation or something?
Yeah, that's great, Roll. Thanks.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you
for joining in this event. I do understand that it's sometimes frustrating, the communication with the team, but like we all volunteering to sort of like run this course and do this. So please bear with us when there's some mistakes that are happening. Just kindly make notes on the Slack channel or something, and then we'll try our best to fix them in time. And yeah, so I hope to see you guys in future in one of the Age of Ventures project. Maybe we'll collaborate and work on some of those. And yeah, have a good end of the day, and we'll see you around.
You too.
Thanks, Roll. Cheers.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.